Hello, my name is Emma Richardson. I'm the EU Affairs Researcher at the IAA. I'm joined by MEP Maria Walsh, who has just taken part in our discussion in Galway, Ireland's voice in Europe. And so I have one question to start with, and that is, how did you find the discussion today, and what were some key takeaways?
The discussion was super impactful. I always am one of those that would love to hear from the audience, but then when I talk long sentences and answer long questions, that often goes in the face of that. But, you know, the Europe is so complex, and the peace project that it is so complex now in a geopolitical and stable world. So I think we covered as much as we could. But when you look at 70% of Irish law originates in the EU, I mean, of course, it's going to be an impactful event, from defence to agriculture to gender-based violence and cybersecurity to mental health to Trump and the economic plays at hand, to the future, to regional development, which this event was based on, and I don't think we touched enough of it, but it just goes to show you everything is so intrinsically linked that you have to take in so many different facets and layers of where we're at now in this current climate.
Definitely. And as an Irish MEP, how important are these events in regional areas of Ireland, coming back on your Green Week?
For sure, super important. And may I just say, as Ireland's youngest MEP, at the very old age of 37, these type of conversations are incredibly important. And the fact that we have such a youthful audience, people who are very dedicated to governance, transparency, legislation, national, European frameworks. I mean, this is the creme de la creme in rooms. And it's our responsibility as Irish 14 MEPs to make sure whatever week it is, whether it's Green Week, which is where we're in our constituency or travelling on missions, that we are making adequate time, marking out time that is suitable for the student or any person to ask us those questions. Because ultimately you end up with what was taken up from the floor, disinformation, misinformation, people not coming to the polls, the disconnect between what the EU does and what we do on their behalf, and then you get what we're seeing played out in the United States. So I always say our community has to be reflective of our politics, and our politics have to be reflective in our community, and until we have more of these conversations, then that's not going to be met.
What is one key issue from your constituency, the Midlands-North-West, that you're pushing to the forefront in Brussels in your role as an MEP?
Just one?
Just one. You're only allowed one.
Okay, one. Equality for women. So here in the west coast of Ireland and this region of Midlands-North-West, being seen as a female, be it in business, be it in social supports, be it in just rural or urban areas, decision making, finance, and the financial control is choice for a female. And historically, before we joined the EU in 1973, we had the marriage bar, which sometimes we forget happened. So women who were in public and private roles, if they decided to marry or were put into forced marriages, had to leave their full-time jobs, which meant the financial security they had, or the ownership, the autonomy they had on themselves, just disintegrated. Our relationship with the EU changed that, but we're still 50 odd years on, nowhere near where we look at any sort of financial support or the balance, be it in any facet to that case.